You come on, say something, say hey. I'm out at the farm. Let's see, let's turn this around. Out here, 5 o'clock, right on time. Say hey when you come in the room, and what you're looking at. See if it. What you're looking at is a ditch, 280 foot long, to the power pole out there, and that is for the house. All right, going live here. Y'all come on. If somebody comes in, say hey, say where you from. Some of you obviously that come in a lot, I know well. All right, getting ready to get started here. When you come in the room, say hey. Just tell me how it's streaming. Is it streaming good? Seems to be. Hey Rip from Florida. What part of Florida you in? What y'all looking at is 200, I think it's like 286 foot hole. Travis, what's up, buddy? From Middleton, New York. I'm out at the farm, obviously. Got a few things here we'll talk about. Let's wait here just a second, get going. That's a truckload of gray pipe for the power line. Let me get to where you can see it. When today had to run around to different places looking to get this. This is probably one of the last hardest things I got to do out here at the farm for those that don't know, that putting in this house. Walk around, do a little view while we're waiting to get started here. That's a 4-bedroom. We'll spin around. I don't know if I've done this at the farm. This is a 10-acre spot. It goes out to those are orange trees out there. It goes basically where these trees are. There's a fence. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. And then the barn, fifth wheel, little house. Trying to get all this wrapped up for the Great Loop trip, which obviously we're jumping off January 1st. Y'all, I see a few more people come in the room. Say hey. Whoops, let me switch that back. Say hey and where y'all are from. So I know, let's see, southwest. Okay, we'll be coming down that way here real soon. Florida Reef Dreamer from Winter Haven. Do I know you? Chillin' man. Good day, Mike from Australia. Good day. What time is it out in Australia? Chillin' man. Let me cut this truck off and we'll just stand outside and do today's. 8 a.m. Okay. So y'all are cutting the truck off here. Y'all give me 1 second. Wanted to do a little live here from the farm, give an update. What I got going on. This is for those coming to the room, about a 280 something foot ditch. This is for the electrical power. These are 2.5 inch pipes that I got to lay in there, and a pedestal. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's where the power will come, be a pedestal pole right here, come up about that high, and that's where the meter can will set, instead of having a power pole overhead and the line coming in, which can get knocked down by storms. I can tell you out here, we get, obviously with this open land, we get a lot of wind comes across here. Funny story, that small house there, I know it's category 2 certified because we rode out a storm, what, about 2.5 years ago there. So I know it was kind of interesting myself. Zoffinger, um, um, we were, they live over obviously on the coast, and we left the coast and it ended up coming more across the state in here than it did over there. It was crazy. All right, I'm gonna get set up here and switch the camera around. Give me just a second. Look at the sky for a second. All right. Set up here. All right, let me. Okay, no, Florida Real Dreamer. Yep, don't know you. Okay, I'm out in Alturas, Florida Real Dreamer, if you didn't know. I'm on the south of 60. That's where this property is out here. There's a road you can see. It runs along there. You'll see a car pass by here or there as time goes on. So out here at the farm, and just giving an update. It's not going to be a real long one. I still got work to do. I dug this hole yesterday. Took all day to dig it. It's got to be 36 inches as far as the power, for the power leading to the house. And this is what I dug it with. I've showed y'all this one time, but probably some of you haven't seen it. This is a really cool workhorse right here. You buy this thing from Harbor Freight. Got a motor on the back of it. Got a seat right here. And you can control it from here. And you talking about a dig and a workhorse, this thing will get it done. What a great investment that was, $3,400. Actually, all the money that I'll make from here from doing all the work myself will more than pay for that. It dug that hole yesterday and dug the water line out there. It's going to dig a lot of different stuff. So basically, update on what I got going here, and then getting ready for the trip. So I have, hang on one second, something I want to do real quick. Where was that? All right. Hey, Dean from North Carolina. What part of North Carolina? Hang on one second. I want to grab something. Last, I always like to shout out these people do super chats, which is where you can donate a few dollars and then your name shows up. But last week, the big super chat was from Culture, Lifestyle, and Travel. Hope you're reading that right. Culture, Lifestyle, and Travel. They have a channel here on YouTube. If you're interested, check them out. They'll probably be on here shortly if they're not already. And then also one of my friends, Kim Bahrain, he's done several, and you'll use all this. All goes into an account for the Great Loop. For those of y'all know, we got that coming real soon. I'm trying to get some of these things wrapped up so I can spend my time over at the boat. So I have a job going that ends up, hopefully finishes by Wednesday. I should be done with all my jobs and everything in Polk County and be able to turn all my attention to the boat. Down in the shop, I got some Nitacor, which is real interesting. Y'all know that I'm going to do a hard top on the back of Good Times, and that's where my solar panels are going. And I got that here in preparation. So by this week, I'll start working on that hard top. So by next week's live, you should be able to see it. And then I'm getting in the position where I can start back with my videos. Finally getting caught up enough that I'll have time and I'll be able to get started back on my regular videos. I'm sure for some of you who don't know, haven't seen the live chats, I had to stop for a while. Just had too much going, working on my book and get some things done that I had to get done in preparation for the trip. You know how it is when you get going in way too many directions. You got to focus back down to get things, and I'm about caught up now. So this week, 3 days, I'll finish up on the jobs I'm on. For those who don't know, I run a full-time kitchen business outside of this. And someday I'm going to do some videos about that. Y'all haven't seen too much of that but I usually turn out a full kitchen remodel, custom built, everything, cabinets about every 3 weeks, And thank goodness for that, because of course, y'all know I'm retired from the fire department, but that obviously wouldn't pay for this trip. No way. What's up, Ken? Hope you just showed your name there a minute ago for a super chat. Appreciate you. I know you coming down. We're gonna hook up when you get down. So I do those kitchens about one every 3 weeks, and it helps to pay for all of what I got going on. So the last big thing I did on the boat, if y'all remember that haul out, which was farm equipment. You got to expect it out here in the country, which I love it, no doubt about it. The boat, it is a money pit, no doubt about it. Break out another 1,000 BOAT. But that job, which was supposed to have been like 1,200, ended up being around 3,000. So I'm blessed to have the business to help cover all the expenses until we get on the water. Of course, you know, the last one I did, I got the windlass on, and that's all working. So now my attention at the end of this week turns to the top, building the top, and then of course getting the solar panels on it. Feel real comfortable. I'm gonna be able to get it done in about a week and a half, and you'll see definitely progress on that by next Sunday's video. And like I said, for those that just come in, I will be also getting back on my schedule of turning out at least one other video a week. I want to get caught up with all that stuff in North Carolina before I get on to the Great Loop. I'm also due to Ken actually mentioned it. One video, I have the one for the whitewater rafting, and then I'm going to do a Great Loop video basically explaining what I'm doing. Of course, you know, what me and Marty's doing together, what it is, just for my channel, because some people still, I get questions all the time about it and they don't know what it is. So I'm gonna try to go in a little bit of detail and some good, interesting new stuff that we're gonna be doing, opportunities for y'all to meet us up. I won't say it yet, but I hope to have the t-shirts, having some special shirts made for that, for people that help us out, meeting us and getting fuel for our boats or whatever. Not paying for it, but helping us to get the fuel. And I'll go into detail. That's just a little teaser, but I got special shirts just for that. That's going to be kind of cool. But so at the end of this week, I'll be turning my attention back to good times, and then solid through until the end of the month. So it kind of worked out pretty good that Marty and I, you know, back, and you can only make plans so well, and then things happen as they happen. I was going to leave about a month early, but just got too much stuff going. And so now we're leaving together. So that's going to be kind of cool, that where you'll see the video us coming out together and then heading down. So of course we'll go out Tampa Bay, go down the West Coast, cross through Lake Okeechobee. I got some stuff set for that, about them rocks, in St. Lucie River, and then up. And we don't actually know where we're going to stay yet. This is something I haven't really said too much about. Hey, bud, Mike Caldwell, Thomas English, North Carolina. I hadn't said too much about this. So in preparation for moving, I went to Fort Pierce, y'all know, because I think I did a live over there, and picking up materials, but also checking on marina as well. The problem with that is that's 2 months ago. Yeah, there was a spot available in a marina then, but if I would have wanted to say, okay, I'll take it, I would have had to start paying for it then, and then I'm paying for the marina here, so I just couldn't do that. That's way too expensive. Marinas are already expensive as it is, about $500 a month, roughly. So long story short, we don't know yet where we're going to stay when we get over there. A lot of the work we did is so that we can stay on the hook. So there'll be times, obviously, that we're on the hook a lot. And, but that would be more when we're actually underway about in March. So, you know, we start moving around to the East Coast in January, but you can't really start heading north till it warms up. And we hope to be about Charleston, and then we'll start heading north from there. So, and we're gonna go into, hey, what's up, Wes from Lakeland? We're gonna go into detail. Marty and I, I'm sure we'll do us a live talk more about that and answer a lot of those questions. We'll answer a lot of those questions and get you some new news. So it's a couple new people in there. I'll show you I'm at the farm real quick. New Port Richey. Hey, Florida Buckeye from New Port Richey. So a couple of things I'm wrapping up out at the farm, and I just try to show is I just yesterday dug about a 280-foot ditch for all this gray pipe. That's electrical pipe to go in, and the pedestal, which is where the meter will set, will go in right here. The meter will be right there, and then hopefully get the house, get all the electrical done for the house. Trying to wrap all this up by the new year, but the slow people are Duke Energy. They're taking the most time. So that's basically what we got going out here at the farm. Oh, on another interesting note, you can't see them, and I'll make sure I do on the next one, get a chance, but there's 3 new cows out there. So in order to keep, holy crap, look at Ken throwing up a super chat. Man, I tell you, if it wasn't for this guy, I'm telling you, look at Ken Bahrain's big old super chat. Ken, I'd have made it up your name because I knew that was coming. You are the man. I sure appreciate you a lot. But I got 3 cows out there. I'm going to have 3 more here by January the 1st. And the reason for that is when you have, if you want an agricultural exemption on your land so that your taxes are not as expensive, but more importantly than that, so that you can build stuff without having to go through the permitting process, I have to have those cows by January the 1st. So this is part of the documentation to say those cows are there by January the 1st. But in one of my next live streams, I'll make a point and show y'all them. Hopefully I'll probably have the other 3 by then, because probably I know it, the next one live stream will be from the boat, and because I'll be working over there a lot then and working on that hard top. Okay, let me answer a few questions here. What I try to do is I realize with these live chats that I need to tell you what I'm going to tell you, because if you keep going to these questions, it throws you off. Can't keep your train of thought. So I'm going to answer the questions. If y'all have any questions, throw them up here now, and then I'm going to go through here and answer them. Let's see. Yeah, Chili Man, be awesome seeing Good Times and Kontiki touring together. It is. It's going to be a great time. I tell you, I so look forward to this. Y'all, you just don't know. I'm now getting to the point like I do before every trip. I start getting excited because, I can see it coming. It's not that far away. So you can go ahead and y'all start putting your questions in there. Ken talking about hitting the like button. Yeah, I appreciate that, y'all. Everybody that does that, of course it helps the channel. Joining in from, let's see, who's this? Slick 26 from Chesapeake Bay. Okay, well, we're going to be up through there. And I'll tell you something new in just a minute. Remind me to tell you the story about coming down. And that's certainly going to be in the Great Loop video, but I'm going to tell you a story. So I'm looking forward to being up in the Chesapeake Bay area. Ken says he's going to be down here the 29th through January the 1st. Yeah, Ken. So you're going to be able to see us sliding out, and we'll work on doing some video and adding your video in the video as we're heading out of the marinas and heading on, because you'll see right there at Bahia Beach is right where we're going to pass in front, and that's where you're staying there at the Harborside Suites. You're going to love that place. What a nice place. Pasadena Slick, he says he's close. Pasadena, I was at Pasadena Marina before I came to Little Harbor. I like Little Harbor better, but Pasadena was very protected, but that was also, you couldn't see nothing. So that's one thing I didn't like about that. Okay, let me tell you just a quick story about back when I got hung on the Great Loop. And this was in September of, let's see. All right. So it was a year anniversary to 9/11. All right. 1 year after 9/11. About a month prior to that, I'd been looking for a boat, and I bought a boat on eBay, of all things, sight unseen, in Niantic, Connecticut. So if you know on your geography where Connecticut is above the Long Island Sound. And me and two other firemen decided we'd fly up there, get on this boat, and ride it back. Now, some people were like, "You crazy? Going out there buying a boat you ain't never been on, whatever, whatever." But what they didn't know is I had a trailer lined up, and I said, "Well, it's either a boat trip, and if something happens to the boat because I don't know it, then it'll turn into a trailer trip. I'll call for my truck and trailer, and people will come, and, we'll load it up and we'll drive it back, whatever." So we flew up there. The guy picked us up, and it was a 23-foot Sunrunner. And the Sunrunner, 23 foot. Now, my boat's 32, so this was a 23. It had a little cuddy cabin and a small little aft cabin, like under where you sat. Wasn't real big. And we got on that boat. We fired it up. There was a couple little things, wrong with it. And we went out, and we came back one time, and then we said we were just going to go out again just to sort of, do a little shakedown thing. And man, we went out and everything was rolling good, and we just decided to head on down. And we went all the way down through the Long Island Sound. And then we stayed one night in New Haven, for those that know that area. And then we went down through the river. And on September the 10th of the 1 year to 9/11, we were sitting across and could see where the towers were. 1 year, I got a battery notification. Let me plug this in real quick. Make sure we don't die. We were sitting across the river and watching the moon rise. And when I do that video, I'm going to show you all this. I got a picture of the moonrise over the city. So of course the towers were down. It was a year anniversary. And we woke up that morning on September 11th, and it was unbelievable. All the air traffic, all the helicopters, gunships, all the boat traffic in the bay, lots of law enforcement, as you can imagine there was. And I'm like, man, we got to get out of here. And we came out of Liberty City Park, headed south, passing Statue of Liberty there on the right, which was the first time I'd ever seen that. And then we headed out, and we worked all the way south, and we came down. We went in at Manasquana Inlet. Now, this is all stuff we're going to reverse on the Great Loop. So that's one of the reasons I really looking and excited to do it. And we went down, and so we're in a 23-foot boat, and we got down to the Delaware River. And those that have seen the Delaware River, it's a long ways across. And we had weather that morning, wasn't good. It was like 3 or 4s. And we was talking to the locals, and the people were like, well, yeah, just get out there and follow the ferry. When the ferry goes, you be ready, and you get in there behind the ferry and just follow him, and he'll knock the waves down, and you'll make it to the other side. You'll be okay. I'm like, that sounds pretty good. Now, you got to realize I was very new to boating way back then. And so we are sitting out there in the morning. Here comes this ferry, huge ferry. For those who've seen them, they're huge. And he goes out and busting out across that water. Well, what they don't tell you is how fast them things will run. And I would run about 25, maybe 30 tops. That thing jumped up on the water and took off, and he just left us. We had to turn around and go back because the seas got so bad. So what that meant, we had to go up the Delaware River through the C&D Canal and down to Chesapeake Bay, which added 2 or 3 days. It kind of sucked at the time. The weather wasn't good, but we created some good memories, got to see places we hadn't seen. So on our trip coming on the Great Loop, those places we're going to stop at, we're not going to be in any hurry. If we have weather, we're going to stop, we're going to wait, hang out, and, just enjoy the trip. Meet people all them ways so those a minute ago that said you were from Chesapeake Bay, we'll have opportunities to meet up, and that's really going to be great. I'm a people person. I love to expose people to water. That was one of the reasons I become a boat captain. I love getting people out on the water and exposing them to it and them seeing what I see. Absolutely love it. But anyway, so that trip Then we came down intercoastal, mostly the way because the weathers weren't so good. And I got tons of stories about that I could tell. And made it all the way back to Merritt Island, Florida. Took us 2 weeks to do it on that 23-foot boat. Best time in my life. That's when I got hung on the Great Loop. And now, how many years later is that? So 20 years later, roughly, finally getting ready to start on it and do it. And the adventure of it, we won't be in any hurry, so it's going to be an absolute blast. I really appreciate everybody on YouTube that's going to be following, because it's really interesting when you're out on the water, and it's a great time to be by yourself. No doubt about it. It's why I love it. I go out on the water sometimes and just sit. Those mosquitoes running by here. I go out on the water sometimes and just sit and just love it. And the reason that I love it is you got so many environmental things just coming in with the water, the temperatures of the air and wind, and all that's happening. So what it does is it keeps you from worrying about your problems. And that's what I figured out, you know, what I love about the water. Absolutely love it. But then the second part of that is I love taking people out there, because the next best thing of doing it for me, and not everybody is this way, but I enjoy bringing people out and exposing them to that, seeing that happening, and that them experiencing that, and especially for those that ain't been on the water a lot or been on the salt water. Absolutely love it. So the great thing about YouTube is when I'm out there, even if I'm by myself, I'm like, y'all are present, and I'm talking to you or talking to the camera. So that's really neat. And that's one of the things I'm excited about, bringing y'all along and getting to meet people along the way. So that's going to be a really good time. So let me just look at some questions here. Starting to get a little bit late. I'm going to show one more for people that just came in, what I'm doing, finishing up out the farm, and then we'll wrap it up. And then next week will be from Good Times. So let's see here. Let's see. What is the Great Loop? Thomas, stand by. I'm going to do a video about that. It's the Great Loop, but basically is a series of inland waterways going up the East Coast, up through the Erie Canal, Great Lakes, down to Tennessee, Tom McGee Waterway, which runs parallel to the Mississippi, out and around Florida. That's what the Great Loop is. That's what we're preparing for on these boats. That's what we're starting January 1. I'm going to do a video about it because I keep getting this question. Ken actually mentioned that about doing a videos to bring people up to speed. So I'll be doing one here real soon about it. Hey, Mike from Rome, Georgia. I'm glad you made it. I'm gonna show y'all just a few things that we got going out here on the farm that I'm finishing up on. Gonna be a good time, no doubt about it, Ken. No doubt about it. I am super excited. How long to do it? That's a good question. So we're gonna do it a little differently. So a lot of people that do the Great Loop, they start and then they have an end point, right? So they got to, so we're looking at this thing a little differently. When we're doing it, we don't really have a destination. To be honest, we don't even know where we're coming back to. Right now, we don't know. Could be Tampa, could be somewhere else, but we don't know. It is about the trip. That's what this thing is about. So we're going to take our time, stop everywhere. And when we jump off in March from Charleston, we're going to end up in Long Island area of New York, and we're going to winterize the boats there over the winter, meaning they get hauled out. We winterize them. They stay there through the rest of the winter. That way, whenever springtime comes the following year, 22, we'll have more time to slowly cross through the Erie Canal, Great Lakes, and all that. Because a lot of people will just get in it and go start to finish. Well, guess what? You're just driving every day. That's no fun. I mean, you're missing everything. You're missing everybody. So we're not going to do that. We're going to take 2 years to do it, and it's going to be an absolute blast. I think it's going to be a lot better for everybody involved. Let's see here. A Chili Man was asking how to get the boat name and where that came from. The that's an interesting thing, and it's a great name. I love the name Good Times. But actually, a buddy of mine years ago that I took out, him and his wife and another friend of mine, who you'll see on some videos coming up, and his wife, I took them out, and the guy kept saying, man, this is a good time. This is a good time. And he just kept saying that throughout the weekend. And we did. We had a blast. They were a little younger than we were, me and the girl I was with at the time, but they just had a blast. And he kept saying what a good time it was. And then eventually I named, that was another boat, same kind. So when I got this boat, I named it Good Times. And it's been a great name because it really works out for a lot of different things, not just boating, which is kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, he's saying over how much daylight over there in Pasadena, which is only about 100 miles that way. He's saying it's already dark. Yeah. No, we got a sunset. Look at it. We almost missed it. I should have had that pointed that way the whole time. Got some clouds, but it makes. Oh, y'all just wiped out. Y'all must be drinking. Just wiped out. Look at that sunset. Notice the way that the house faces. There's going to be a porch all the way around that other side, and that's to watch them sunsets in the evening. Beautiful, the sunsets. Let's see. Let me answer my last few questions here, and I'm going to do a quick walk around and show you one more those that came in late. Florida Buckeye saying going down to Mississippi or the Tom McGee Waterway, Tennessee Tom as it's known. Definitely the Tennessee Tom. If you do much research, you realize that the Mississippi is a lot of barge traffic, and you don't want to be trying to fight all that. Not to mention, there's not as much fuel. You can't get fuel like you can on the Tennessee Tom or Tom McGee Waterway. So we'll definitely be doing that. Let's see. Time frame for doing the Great Loop is we start in January the 1st. We'll end up in at the end of the summer. We're going to winterize in New York. Leave it there for through the winter. Winterize them and then start again and then start doing the northern part. So I want to just show those that are coming late. I'm out to farm. This is one of the last big things I got to do, running the power. These are all 2.5-inch gray pipe. There's the power pole out there. It's hard to do this on the camera. There's the power pole, and I'm running the line, and it is going to set to a meter box. I'll put that in. It's going to go right there. This, y'all, I showed y'all this a couple times, but for those that haven't seen it, this thing I bought from Harbor Freight, about $3,400. And that's what I do all my digging with out here. Man, that is a great tool. What a workhorse that is. So, last little thing here. This is the farm, 10 acres we have out here. And I was saying earlier, I got 3 cows out there. And one of the next ones I'll show you, and I'll have 6 by then. But this is the house, and you'll see, and I don't have to do this in no hurry. I'm going to pull this as a separate permit. I already have the plans for it. But I'll have a deck that comes all the way down, comes out 15 foot. So this whole corner. So whenever we're out here hanging out, watching these sunsets. So this is my forever home. This is where I'll die. And I'm building all this stuff. One of the things I tell people is, as much as I love and look forward to doing the Great Loop, you got to have home to come back to. So this is my home. This is where I'll come back. This is where I'll die. Right here. It's great. It's awesome to know that have a place that you're not moving again, because I hate moving. I hate moving with a passion. We have very few vehicles come out here. Matter of fact, the most thing that we have out here is bicyclists, like these people that ride, in competition, because there's not a lot of traffic out here. They do it a lot out here. And then also motorcycles on the weekends. We have a lot of motorcycles that come out here, and it's pretty cool. But I also want to say that at some point we'll have a place for people to come out here, so it'll be kind of cool as time goes on. A lot of kayaking and stuff to be done in this area, and I don't have time to go into all that, but you will see it over time. Let me get these last few questions and we're gonna wrap this thing up. Let's see. Yeah, Ken talking about the GMC with looks like a gunboat with all them pipes sticking out. That'd be something for 4th of July, wouldn't it? Being able to shoot your stuff out there. That's an idea for a video. Well, so somebody, let me see. He's asking a question, Florida Buckeye, where is Marty going to live? And I'll let him talk more about that. But, you know, he's from New York. He's got people. That's one of the reasons we decided we would stop there is, I mean, I'm sure he'll spend some time in New York seeing family and friends, but I think he'd probably be back down here. Marty will tell you real quick, he don't like cold weather. He don't like to be cold, and I don't blame him. I don't like real cold, that's for sure. Ken, I'll hook you up on that. We'll make a point to ride over here and check it out. All right, guys, I'm just trying to get all the last little buttons here. Cyclists, we call them 1,000 points. Yep. I hear you. That's funny. We try not to do that too much. That sun's just about, well, it's actually already set. I can't tell because of the clouds, but you might be if you were on the coast, you could see it. But all right, guys, that's going to wrap us up for this week. Next week will be still 5 o'clock. We'll do them at 5 o'clock. We'll be over on Good Times. You'll see some more things. I probably won't have the top done yet, but it'll be pretty close to going on. So that's going to be exciting. Then the solar panels on top. So let's see. There was something else I wanted to tell you. It's skipping my mind, but anyway. So next week, 5 o'clock, we're moving on. I'll for those that didn't hear me in the beginning, I finished up a job, my last job I'm on, basically till January the 20th. I'm off till January the 20th, and I'm gonna have just all my attention on, of course, on Good Time for preparation, and then moving it, and then settling it in over there, and then I got to do a job, and then back, and we'll start moving it up. But appreciate everybody showing up to support. I look forward to sharing this with y'all. It's going to be a blast. You know, it's going to be a good time. See y'all soon. Take care, guys.